What is up guys, Kexi here, and today we're gonna talk about what you should know before playing Rubick. Right before the start, I just wanna say that I'm playing on Divine rank, so if you are below that, it might be a really useful video for you. But even if you are above that rank and you don't play Rubick that much, and you would like to maybe improve your gameplay, you might also learn something. So yeah, without further delay, let's back to the video. So first of all, we will talk about position. Everyone knows that Rubick is mostly played on support position, but you can also play it as a position free, but it's very occasional. For example, if you have good tanky initiators on other positions like Spirit Breaker 4 or Bristol Mid. I mean, of course you can initiate as a Rubick offlane, but you are not tanky, okay? You can't eat spells. You blink in, use telekinesis and get one tapped by PA because you squishy as well. So yeah, position free is very occasional, and if you pick it, you should play like a god or be prepared for low priority games. Next, in my opinion, most fun, enjoyable and tasty position you can play Rubick on is position 2. It's a little bit different playstyle than other mid lane heroes. Mid lane hero is second core position after position 1, right? So you should have second most farm. That works if your position 3 is not AFK greedy pick stealing all the camps from you. So you farm like 30 to 40% of the time and fight like 60 to 70%. But on Rubick, it's more like farm 10 to 20% and fight 80 to 90%. Because Rubick is not that great in farming jungle. You can use Fade Bolt, but it doesn't kill big creep. And if you use Fade Bolt and some stone spell, like Crystal Nova, you wasted like 1/3 of your max mana. So 3 camps and you are drier than my throating after smoking pot all night. So not recommended at all. What I'm trying to say is you have to play very aggressive. Go for ganks, smoke with your supports, but not like you think right now, okay? Do I even get demonetized for this? Just kidding guys, I don't have a monetization yet, so need 1k subs, please subscribe now. Right now! Anyway, so if you are not really confident as a Rubick, you should stick to the support position. Joking guys, just joking. I'm something of a position for player myself, okay? So as a support Rubick, I would highly recommend playing only position 4, but sometimes you just can't help yourself, can? And that is because I feel like as position 5 you are not using full potential of Rubick. As position 5 you usually have to buy items like Glimmer, Force Staff, what? Isn't it like those biggest shields from middle century? Now imagine this tiny Rubick carrying this monstrosity on his back and he'd be like, don't worry man, I got you. That's ridiculous guys. Anyway, by buying those items you can't really play aggressive. Exceptionally, there is position 4 Kotal or Oracle who buy those items for you, so you don't have to, but it's very rare, and if none of you buys it, that's a grief my friend. It's best and most playable position for Rubick, but at the time it's position 4, sadly. Next we will talk about build. As I already said, as position 5 you will usually go for items like Arcane Boots, then Glimmer, Force Staff, or Pavis, or whatever you need, okay? Force Staff versus heroes like Slark and Ricky, Glimmer if there is full of spell damage, or if your enemies are lazy or dumb to buy sentry. Especially in the hard late game where everyone is full slot and there is no support around to carry dust or gem, there is basically no chance for carry to kill you, if he doesn't have nullifier of course. But Glimmer is very underrated too. You can also go for Guardian Graves if there is a lot of debuffs like Venom or Silencer, and later it really depends on the game. Go for Agony if the game is going really well, or maybe Lincoln if you're playing versus Legion. But it's like 1% of matches, cause usually you will end up with like 3 items as position 5 at most, okay? As a position 4 it's different story. I like to go first item Arcane Boots, Tranquil Bill only if you have some annoying spell spammer online like Skywrath or Zeus. Cause spells doesn't break the region from boots, right? Only direct attack. After boots, in like 90% of matches I will go for Blink. With Blink you can initiate with telekinesis and give your team time to get there. It's also perfect against heroes with escape like Anti-Mage or Queen of Pain. but it's not only for initiation. Most of the time you're gonna use it as an escape. Remember that as a Rubick you will be most focused hero to kill. Why? Because you're scary. Enemies are not only scary of you, but they are scared of themselves. Let me explain. They are scared of using their abilities because you can aim them, right? For example, Enigma will always want you to be in black hole instead of risking you stealing it right after, because you can both interrupt and yoink. Or he will not use that spell at all, and he will be crying and whispering to the team like, kill this fucking Rubick or I am not using black hole this game. So yeah, they will go for you and they will chase you like a dog, and you have to be ready. So secondly, templing. Some people will tell you to disassemble boots into lens, but don't listen to them, okay? They are wrong. Why would you disable boots? You will not have mana. You need mana. You need all the mana you can find. Second, you already have cast range as a spell. Why would you buy another? That's a waste of money, my friend. You wanna stay 30 kilometers out of the fight? Then pick carry and go hit jungle creeps. I'm kidding, okay? Sometimes it's a good item, but well, no, it's not. Next item, you can go either for stuff if there is a lot of catch and they already hate you. If it's chill, you can start building agony. Next item depends on heroes and items in enemy team. If your team is opening, you should probably win by the time you buy agony. If not, you can buy similar items to the hard support. The difference is that you're going for aggressive item first, then like defensive items, and hard support is going for like first defending the items and then more defensive items, or defending and then aggressive. Alright? Okay, next, position 2. In mid lane, you need to deal a lot of damage, right? And Rubick is great in doing burst damage, especially in the early game. So I prefer going Arcane Boots into Rush Dragon. Why? It's simple. Your Fate Ball is doing around 300 damage. You can also steal spell with, let's say, another 300 damage. Those are also boosted by your passive, giving another 22% on rank 3. That's somewhere around where you hit timing on your Dagon, okay? That's around 750 damage only from spells. Dagon gives you another 400 damage on rank 1. Together it's around 1150 damage, whatever. But after average hero magic reduction at this level, let's say 25%, it's around 850 of pure damage. I usually hit Dagon timing around 12 to 15 minutes, but that time you can nuke almost every hero below 75% and every hero under 50. Some of the support will disappear even with full HP, but you have to be precise with those timings. After that you can go either Blink or Lens, but we already know what you're gonna choose, right? After Blink you can either max your Dagon, or if your carry is very sleepy offlane AFK or there's no one to push, I prefer going Aghanim or Octarine, because Dagon losing its effect in late game. So it's good early / mid game item, but in late it doesn't scale that well anymore. So it's better to have more spells, more stuns and quicker cooldowns than one-time burst damage. So if your team is active and you already pushing tier 2, 18 minutes in the game, just max your Dagon. And if you see it's going to be a longer game, then focus more on CC. As an offlane, you basically go offlane items. You start with Arcane Boots, then go either Dagon if you need burst, or Phylactery if you need stats and be more tanky. Also, the reason why I'm not going Phylactery on mid position is because then it's almost impossible to hit Dagon timing. So it's either Dagon or Phylactery, and I find Dagon to be much better. Then you go either Blink or Force Staff. Next you can go against Aghanim if the game is going well and if you have nice spells to steal. Otherwise go Lotus and Guardians. And that's about it about offlane. Okay, last thing gonna be spells and talents. For all roles I recommend going the same, but I will tell you some exceptions. For spell, you always wanna Fade Bolt to secure ranged creeps. There is exception when you fighting on rune and your team is close to kill, then you can go for telekinesis, but if you're playing mid, you should always stick with Fade Bolt no matter what, so you won't creep your lane. Second spell, I always go for telekinesis. Someone might say that if you're playing mid, you should go only Fade Bolt and passive, but I don't think that's a good idea. Because you never know, right? Someone might gank you, or your enemy will dive under tower, and you don't have your Q. That would be very sad. And also, I got a lot of first bot mid just from throwing people under tower when they get too close. Third level, you go second rank Fade Bolt. On fourth level, you get your first in passive. After that, I always max out Fade Bolt and go max for passive after that. When you hit level 6, passive is boosting also spell that you have stolen, so it's more worth than maxing telekinesis first, especially if you're playing mid. If you're playing support, you can go for tower, but I don't recommend because it's not that much of a stun duration, so you get basically only shorter cooldown. There is also exception if you playing against, for example, Skyward Mage, and you steal his ultimate, then it's good to have few more points in tele instead of passive, because you are basically Sky with free Atos, which is really crazy in early game. But you have to be careful, because a lot of good players will never let you steal so important spell, especially if you can hide it behind instant conclusive shot. Another example would be maybe Shadow Field, which is also easier to steal. Okay, but in normal match you max passive, then you go telekinesis, you skip level 10 talent because it's trash, and go tele again. Then ult, and you can get your level 10 talent at level 13. I usually go for telekinesis damage to help you clear some bigger waves, but it doesn't even clear normal wave together with Fade Bolt, so it's pretty bad. You can also go for Fade Bolt damage reduction talent if there is a lot of physical damage in enemy team. Some of the carries are not going for BKB no matter what, so it can be really useful sometimes. But I think they should change those talents, they are pretty dumb. Level 15 it's always be a cooldown reduction. Longer stun is fine, but 25% cooldown reduction is basically pre-Octarine core, so even though it's only for stolen spells, you should always go for it. On level 20, it depends on game. As a core it's like 50-50. If your team is lacking damage, then go for Fade Bolt or CD reduction. Otherwise, I find telekinesis throw distance maybe a little more powerful. On level 20, you are usually sieging or defending base, right? And it's really strong. You can bring your enemy deeper into the base, or maybe if you are sieging, you can throw enemy out of the base. You can also combine it with some spells like Rapture and deal a solid amount of damage, or you can just save somebody by throwing enemy further away. If you playing, for example, against Ursa, it can be really game-changing. If I'm playing support, I always go for distance talent. Level 25 also depends on situation. 40% spell damage for stolen spells is great, but only if you have right spells to steal, right? For example, if you're playing versus Lifestealer, PA or Pre-Cell, or similar type of heroes, then it's useless, right? But if you're playing versus Lina, Crystal Maiden or Enigma, then it's really strong. Anyway, as a mid, I always go for damage, because you are core, and you have to deal as much damage as you can. As a support, it really depends. Mostly I go telekinesis, cooldown reduction, but there are games when you can steal a really strong spell and nuke their support, even if you are playing support. And give your team advantage 5 on 4, then it's fine, I guess, but otherwise go for cooldown reduction. But again, in most of the time, you don't even hit 25. As a core, you wanna end the game as soon as possible, because you are strongest early / mid game, and as a support you are not getting as much XP, so it really depends. Alright guys, I wanted to talk also about laning stage, but I see it would be a really long video, and I don't even know if you would like this type of content, so please let me know if you learned something new or not at all, and if you would like to see more of this type of videos. Have a good one, and peace.